Everybody, welcome back to another video with Team Arm Caliber. It's Joker here. I've got a tweak to a deck profile we just did, that Chimera. I really like it. You know, everybody's got that one that they really kind of mess with. I think this is the one for me. And today we had a box tournament for Duelist Nexus, and I thought real hard on whether or not to take trap tricks, but I wanted to try this one out and see how it worked now that I was a bit more familiar with it. I thought it had some great potential. And today I took thirds, so I wanted to show you, I wanted to open up the prizings that I got, and I also wanted to show you the tweaks that I made. It's a little bit different from the last time. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the haul. Wanted to open them up for you guys, and I am going to be fast forwarding in between just to speed things up a bit. So, got Happy Memory, Titanic Moth, and Power Tool Mecha. Branded Lost, branded in red, Herald of the Abyss. Kind of a branded pack there, I guess. Infinity Ray, Valence Wave, Wheel Synchron, Rescue Ace Preventer, You're Finished. Unchained Soul of Shama, Diabolica, Synchro Overtop, Nymeria Louvre. Beta Evolution Pill, Super Heavy, Agminal Candle, Datara, Altergeist, Over Exaggeration, Storage Pod, Beta, Aqua Chorus Round, Magic Key, Double Headed, Million Century, Infinity Ray, New World, Nymeria Louvre, Nymeria Louvre, Greed Jar, Realm Resonance, another Diabolica, Genosaurus, Sanatina, Wheel Synchron, New World, Revolution Synchron. Look at that boy. Oh, third place, but I'm a winner. That is okay. That is a-okay. Quibelt, Veda, Altergeist, Continuing Epic of Charles. That sounds like an epic card. All right, so third place got me a Revolution Synchron. That makes me a winner today. Let's get into the profile y'all came for. All right, so I broke this up a bit different. It's not gonna be monsters, spells, traps. Spoiler warning, no traps. But I broke them up into packages. So first is the 3 Coatls. With these ratios, I thought about making them less just because I don't think you need to have all of these, but then at the same time, sometimes, you know, all you need is one, and sometimes you need the one. So I wasn't comfortable with reducing it. So 3 Coatl as well, and then 3 Gazelle, and then the same 2 Big Wing. You can play it at 3, but like I explained in the last one, you don't, sometimes if you need to get to the 3rd one, you don't have any targets, or it's just, it's time to wrap up the game. So also 2 Chimera Fusion, because a lot of times it feels like you're playing with 3 or 4. You can only use a max of 3. You know, if you've got 2, it's 1 per copy plus the 1 that you draw back, but sometimes it feels like you're playing with 3 in a turn anyway. As for the branded stuff, I did play 2 Fallen Albaz. It's because, like I said, I was a little worried about having Albaz gone and then I can't play branded. But I decided to run 2. It didn't come up, so I have no opinion on it. I did still run the Dark Magician for the Dragoon, and boy, it came through because, well, I mean, I can summon more than just Dragoon with it, but when I needed Dragoon, when I just needed an Omni Negate and then something to do damage next turn, it really came in. Of course, 3 of the Branded Fusion, because Branded Fusion. And then I did run the Patchwork package. So 2 Fright for Patchwork, and then the 2 Poly and the 2 Edge Imps that come with it. Honestly, I tested it and I wasn't sure if I needed to run these, but I ran them, and I'll explain it. So I ran them, and I didn't think that I needed to, because when I was playtesting, I kept having like hands full of cards. You know, a lot of cards, a lot of advantage, which is really good, but I kept feeling like I don't need all these cards in my hand. I should play like, you know, something more or something else. And so I decided to run with it because I figured safer was better. And there was actually a matchup where my opponent said, okay, cards in hand, holy, how do you still have that many? And so that was funny. And so some extra choices. I actually did run 3 Fenrir still because it's a special summon. It's an interaction on opponent's turn. It's a spot removal if I need it, and you can just search out another one to have a card in your hand for fusions, another material, or you have a Fenrir for the next turn. And then I did run 3 because if they cleared my board, I wanted to be able to special Fenrir and build my board back up, still have another card in my hand for fusions. And moving on to the hand traps, you know me, I run 2 ofs for things that are non-engines, things that are non-essentials, so I decided to do that with this one: 2 Ash, 1 Veiler, 1 Mourner. I'll explain that later. I did run 2 Kaijus. I really thought hard about 3, and I did choose these ones because they're fiends, but I didn't have the room for them. I was already over my limit, and so I just decided to go with 2. 2 Pot of Prosperity, 2 Droplets, and in this one I did remove a lot of the cheesy cards from the last profile. I wanted to go a good bit more competitive, so I went with 2 Thrust and 1 Talent. 2 Thrust can search out the 1 Talent, or it can search out the Harpies or one of the Raigekis if I didn't draw it. Yes, I'm still playing the Raigeki because Raigeki is good. I either get rid of their monsters or I eat up 1 negate. It is a good card. So now with the extra deck, we've got the 2 Chimera and the 1 Illusion. Sometimes maybe need the 3rd one or the 2nd Illusion, but it was fine. And then two of the Guardian Chimera, 1 Rinbrim. Really cool that you can go into your Chimera stuff with the branded. I already explained that. And then 1 Albion, 1 Mirror Jade. Typically, I go from Albion to Mirror Jade for, obvious reasons. And the card that I use for this is actually Effect Veiler. And I could use Mirror Sword Knight, but I don't get anything from it. And if I don't have the Veiler in the hand, I'd rather just dump it because I'm probably not going to draw into it. And so Veiler is my light target for that. Then Lubellion and Dragoon, and that is typically the pattern that I go for, because I can do Lubellion into Dragoon, and because it's Lubellion, I can play Branded Fusion next turn if I was on 1 Albaz. But just depending on the scenario, that's why I went with 2 Albaz, just in case I needed to go Mirror Jade first turn. But I do like this because I can go Dragoon and then next turn still play Branded Fusion. So I actually went with Dragostapelia, Garua, and Mud Dragon because I am playing Super Poly in the side. I'll get to that later. I didn't play Super Poly in the main because I didn't have room for it, and I didn't want to have Super Poly in my, I didn't want to have to use up, I didn't want Super Poly against matchups that I can't use one of these 2 for. So I didn't main deck it, but I did side deck it for specific scenarios. The same thing for Masquerade. I already explained that. That's a burn option for time. And then just in case, because I've heard a lot of people playing, a lot of people in my locals talking about Contact C, Retaliating C, and just cards that kind of lock me up, Ibly or whatever. I wanted to play Cross Sheep because of the generic, and it is a beast, so I could use it into my fusions if I had. So I just had to get them off the field, and then I've got a beast there, and most of the rest of my deck is Fiend, so that's Fiend, Beast, Fusion, boom, combos. Now for the side deck, of course the Aluber, the Wangu, and then the 2 Super Polys. Again, this was in the side deck because I wanted to make sure that every time I had this in my deck as an option, I could use it. So I kept it in the side deck. And then 2 Nibs, and then 1 Mourner. And here's why 1 Mourner in the side, because when I would side, if I needed Nib, I would trade out the Veiler for the Mourner because I just like Mourner better. It's got more options on it than Veiler, and the only reason Veiler's in my deck instead of Mourner is to have a light option other than Mirror Sword Knight. And so if I need Nib to go in, then I can take Veiler out because now I've got the light targets. 3 Droll because Duelist Nexus. 3 Dark Ruler because Sword Soul, Kashtira, and then 2 Eradicator. Honestly, I'm thinking about not even siding that because it can work, but if you're counting on this one card to win you the game, if you don't think the rest of your deck is gonna do it, you might need a new deck. So I actually didn't side this in at all. I know I can, I've got lots of targets for it, but I just didn't. So thinking about siding that out. So with nothing else to explain, that's the profile today. Thank you guys for watching. This is Joker with Team Arm Caliber signing out.